Well, good morning, brothers and sisters. Our next video in the discipling series is accept God-given limitations. You might say, what on earth does that mean? Well, this is actually going to be a very short and brief to the point kind of video, which you might prefer. Discipling is going to look different in a Christian's life from season to season. This is pretty much sanctified common sense. If you're single, you're going to have less responsibilities and less commitments to, say, family ties like a spouse or having children. Well, that means you're going to have more flexibility, generally speaking, to adapt, to be flexible, to move things around, or the ability to mold after other people's life schedules that might have more family responsibilities. Being single certainly doesn't mean you're less busy. It just means there are different familial responsibilities that you have to tend to. 1 Corinthians 7, Paul deals with that with those who are married and those who are single. Their priorities, if you will, their thoughts, their energies are divided. Their interests are divided because they have to care for their family as they're seeking to honor the Lord. So, number one, marital status, family dynamics, age. Think about age as well. A 25-year-old in discipling relationships is going to look different perhaps than a 55-year-old. And a 55-year-old is going to look different than a 75-year-old. Consider things like health. Consider things like stage in life with raising a family if you have one. And then also consider the fact that God oftentimes will give us these seasons in our Christian life, what I call spiritual growth spurts, where we are growing abundantly in certain pockets of time, whether that's over several months or a whole year or whatever. And in those seasons, it's often said that God placed certain believers in our life and we grew a lot from that. But then there can be large pockets of our life where maybe our spiritual growth seems unusually slow and maybe nothing significantly wrong is going on, but the Lord may be putting you in a season of trial, testing of your faith, or finding your identity and purpose truly in Him and not in the relationships you have or don't have. So accepting your God-given limitations, just think about where your life is right now. If the Lord has put a busy season of life and ministry and work in your life, that doesn't mean that discipling has to go absent. It just means it might look different. And so, depending on where you're at in life, if you need advice or counsel, run it by somebody who's seemed to got a good handle on time management. Help you think well. Sometimes that might be peeling back from certain responsibilities in the church, or even, no longer working 2 jobs, or changing your job hours so that you can actually spend more time with your brothers and sisters in Christ. There's a lot of different scenarios, but bottom line is this: whatever season you're in, God's will never contradicts itself. The problem is always with us, not the scriptures. And so let's just adapt. Let's just adjust. Let's prudentially and thoughtfully think about where God has us today with our marital status, our age, our health, our lot and providence in life. Redeem it while you have it. Every season is temporary. And keep the main thing the main thing. You want to redeem the time God's given you. You want to help others follow Jesus. You want to spend and be spent. And that will look different from season of life to season of life. Humbly accept whatever God has given you today, for it will not always be this way, whether that's excessive amounts of time and opportunities or limited. God is sovereign. He can be trusted. God bless.